Dear students, see last time we took some examples, okay, related to see our kinematic equation or motion with a constant acceleration. Now see, in all our earlier 7 or 6 lectures we have discussed the theory part, the examples of the textbook and the exercise numericals. Now today, in a concluding lecture for this lesson motion, okay, I would like to revise all the formula and discuss the main points which we studied. Now see, we start with the basic thing. What is motion? See, whenever an object changes its position with reference to some point or a reference point, or let us say origin, okay, with respect to time, it is said to be in motion. Okay, so when we want to discuss motion of any object, we should know about the position, we should know about the path length or distance, we should know about the speed or velocity, okay, acceleration, and displacement. Okay, now I would like to revise all the formula. See, the path length is a distance is a path covered. Okay, now distance is always positive. Now next is the displacement. As we have discussed earlier, displacement has nothing to do with the path followed. It connects only initial and final position. Okay, it connects only initial and final position. Displacement is given as xf minus xi. Okay, that is final position minus initial position. See, the displacement can be positive, 0, or negative. Okay, now next we talked about speed. Okay, speed is nothing but path length upon or distance upon time. Velocity is upon time. Now displacement we have seen xf minus, okay, velocity we call as v. So vt is xf minus xi. See, that can be a useful relation. Okay. Now we talked about rectilinear motion. So when all the path of a motion, okay, which we discussed is a straight line, then it is called rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. Let us say a object moves from A to B, then B to C, C to D, D to E. What we see, this is itself is not a straight line like this, but if I divide into each part, let us say A, B, B, C, C, D and D, all are straight path. That's why this is called rectilinear motion. Okay, so whenever motion is divided into more than one part, okay, let us say 2 part or 3 part, let us say 1, 2, 3, 4 part. Okay, now we have some general formula. See, in that case we have average speed. Okay, we use symbol like this or this. Okay, average speed is total distance and total time. But we know displacement has nothing to do with the path followed. Okay, let us say in that case, here in this case, displacement is the shortest distance, okay, connecting point A and B. So displacement will be the average displacement will be AE in this case. Now in that case we call average velocity is displacement upon time interval. Okay, or total time. Okay, one more thing you have to keep in mind, that time is always positive, can be never negative. Okay, so this is about the average speed and average velocity. Okay, now we discuss some special cases. Suppose we divide motion into two parts. Okay, when distance is equal, here see the total distance is d, that is divided into two parts, d by 2 and d by 2. We know the speed is different, let us say v1 and v2. Okay, total distance is d, but two parts are of equal distance, so we derive the relation average speed v is 2v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. Okay, if there are three parts, okay, three parts, d by 3, d by 3, d by 3, then that can be extended okay, this is just for your information. Can be extended for n number part, but that complicated things they do not ask. But we have to remember, see, for two parts the average speed is 2v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2, and for three parts it will be 3v1 v2 v3 upon v1 v2 plus v1 v3 plus v2. So this was the case for when two parts are equal. Now suppose time interval in both parts is same. But what we see, the speed is different, so naturally the distance will be equal, it will not be equal, but in that case we derive the relation, there is the average speed is v1 plus v2 by 2. Now same way, if it is three parts, okay, then can be extended. See, this can lead to generalized formula. Okay, this can lead to generalized formula, but right now this formula and this one are of our interest. Okay, now next we talked about motion with constant acceleration or uniform acceleration. Okay, motion with constant acceleration or uniform acceleration, that is very important. See, the equation of motion with constant or now see, we derived v is equal to v0 plus at. Sometimes the initial velocity they call u, then v is equal to u plus at. Secondly, v0 t plus half at square, or d is ut. Okay. Now v0 or u are the common terminology that is being used in the various textbooks. And the third one we derived now these are the set of the equation which is very useful. See, whatever point of the time we'll be studying physics will be useful to you. So these are the equation of motion with the constant acceleration. Now let us talk about the graph we discussed. First was x versus t graph. X may be distance or okay. Now see the first graph see the x versus t graph is parallel to time axis. Okay, x versus t graph is parallel to, if x versus t graph is parallel to time axis, object is at rest or stationary. Okay, if x versus t graph is parallel to time axis, the object is at rest or stationary. Now, second graph. This is again a x versus t graph. If x versus t graph is parallel to, is a straight line, this is also a straight line, but just to differentiate, we have taken this is a line parallel to time axis. Now here, this x versus t graph is a straight line, then object perform uniform motion, or we say in equal time interval. Okay, in equal time interval, object cover equal distance or has equal displacement. See, the object move with a constant speed or constant velocity. So we can write like this: if x versus t graph is straight line and object covers equal distance in equal time interval, object perform uniform motion. Now this is a motion with a, this is uniform motion or with a constant speed. Is a constant speed or constant velocity. Okay, why? Because see, in equal time interval, okay, in equal time interval, see the distance covered also will be equal. Okay, now see, let us say at time t1 here and t2 here, the corresponding position is x1 and x2. Then this ratio, change in position upon change in time, will give the value of the speed. Okay. Okay, that will give the value of the speed or velocity. Okay, why? If it is x versus t graph, then we get speed. If it is x displacement versus time graph, sorry, we get velocity. So this is a second graph for x versus t. Okay, if x versus t graph is a straight line and the object covers equal distance in equal time interval, then see here, if it is constant velocity, there will be displacement. That we have to keep in mind. Now this is about the uniform motion and the ratio. Okay, x2 minus x1, that is change in position upon change in time interval, give the value of the speed or velocity. Now this was about the uniform motion. Now see the third graph. Okay, this is also a straight line. What you can see, each part is a straight line, but here the object do not cover equal distance in equal time interval. That's why it is called non-uniform motion. Why? Because in each part the value of the speed or velocity will be different. So if x versus t graph is straight line and object do not cover equal distance in equal okay, then object perform non-uniform motion. Okay, this is also straight line, but see here in the equal time interval the distance covered will be different, or time interval is also different, distance covered is also different. So the ratio will not be the same for each part. Let us say AB, BC, CD and DA. Okay, the value of the speed will be different. So that's why it is non-uniform motion. Okay, so in that case speed will not be constant in different part of motion. Now these are the part of the motion. Okay, value of speed. Okay, so this is about the third graph for x versus t. Okay, first graph was like this. If x versus t graph is parallel to time axis, okay, the object is at rest or stationary. If x versus t graph is a straight line and the object covers equal distance in equal time interval, see the object perform uniform motion, or that is constant speed. Okay, in equal time third graph, see if x versus t graph is a straight line and object do not cover equal distance in equal time interval. Okay, in that case the ratio will be different for different parts. Okay, so in that case speed will not be a constant speed. Okay, so we get the value of speed as p. So this was about the x versus t graph. Now second graph we had discussed is a v versus t graph. That is a velocity time graph. Okay, now see the first graph. Okay, if v versus t graph is parallel to time axis, okay, what we say it is parallel to time axis. See the object moves with a constant velocity. If v versus t graph is parallel to time axis, object moves with now see the word constant velocity also indicates zero acceleration. Okay, the word constant velocity indicate that it is a zero acceleration. Okay, it is motion with a zero acceleration. Now see the second type of graph for velocity time graph. Okay, see if v versus t graph is a straight line and see there is an equal change in the velocity in equal time interval, then that is called the uniform motion. It is also called uniformly accelerated motion, or it is also called motion with a constant acceleration. So we can write like this: if v versus t graph is a straight line and object and in equal time interval, there is equal change in velocity, then it is called motion with uniform Okay, it is called motion with a constant or uniform acceleration. Here also, see the ratio is called. Here also, see in equal time interval. Okay, in equal time interval, the change in velocity will be also equal. So it is called the motion with the uniform acceleration or constant acceleration. Now see the one important property of the velocity time graph is that area of velocity time graph gives value area of the velocity time graph gives the value of the displacement. Okay. Now these are the important points of the motion with a constant acceleration or uniformly accelerated motion. Now finally we talked about uniform circular motion. Okay. Now see the if body travel with a constant speed. Okay. If object or a body travels on, or we can say moves on circular path with constant speed, then it is called uniform circular. Okay, if object moves on a circular path with a constant speed, then it is called uniform circular motion. Okay, now see, right now it is not that much important, but here the value of the speed will be same. Okay, value of the speed will be same, but you see the direction of the speed is continuously changing. Okay, that's why see there is an exception. Okay, it is called accelerated motion. Okay, right now we do not require this, but what will be the speed here? Speed is distance upon. Now distance is nothing but part covered during the motion, that is a circumference, is 2 pi r upon t. Okay, that is the value of the speed on motion with a constant speed on circular path. Okay, that is also called uniform circular motion. So see, these are the main formulas or equation or graph which we studied in this lesson. Okay, see, if you have any query, you can ask me, you can send me your question. Okay, now see, this is a first lesson. Okay, for see that it is called kinematics. Okay, that you will study in the 11th standard. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the lectures very well. Now see, let me take one or two examples. Okay, so that will see revise our, that will help us to revise the formula or how to use this formula. So we have to see any question or numerical we solve, we have to see what is given and what we have to find out. Let us say we are given a question like this. See, an object undergoes motion with acceleration uniform or constant acceleration of 8 meters per starting from wrist. Okay, these are data given. An object undergoes motion with a uniform or a constant acceleration of 8 meters per second square starting from rest. Okay. See what you have to find out. Let us say distance travel in 2 seconds. Third, velocity of object. Now see, the question is divided into two parts. See, the distance travel in 2 seconds. What is given? See, an object undergoes motion with a uniform acceleration of 8 meters per second square. So if we read the data, see, we have to remember meter per second square is a unit of acceleration. Starting from rest. What is the meaning of this? See, the initial velocity is 0. Okay, now see the first part of the question. Distance travel in 2 seconds. Okay, first you have to find out now. See, recall our formulas. V is equal to V0 plus AT. D is equal to V0 T plus half AT square. Now, see, first we have to find out distance travel in 2 seconds. So this equation is first equation, not required. Secondly, we have to find out distance travel in 2 seconds. Yes, both are the equations which are useful. Now, here in third equation, we require final velocity also, which is not given. See, we are given acceleration. Okay, V0 also is there, but see, the final velocity is not available to us. That's why we do not use the third equation. So what we use, this equation, that is D is equal to V0 T plus half AT square. Okay. Now starting from rest indicated that the initial velocity is 0, time is 2 seconds, 1 by 2, acceleration is 8, and time is 2 seconds. Okay. So 0 plus. See, the writing unit part is also very important. Half marks is for the final answer. Okay. So this is how we have to visualize what is the data given to us and what we have to find out. So whenever we come across a question, we should read the data like this. See, we have to point out what is given and what we have to find out. See, this is our first answer of the first part. Okay. Now see the second part, velocity of the object at 2 seconds. Now see, to find out the velocity, see these two equations as displacement. So we cannot use, we have to use this equation. Now the required thing, V0, yes, 0 it is given, acceleration is there, time is also given. So now we can see that the first equation is very much useful to us. Now to find out the velocity at 5 seconds, there is a second part. Okay, V is equal to V0 plus AT. Okay, now V0 is 0. See, here time was given 5 seconds, that we have written. What is the unit of velocity? Okay, meter per second. So any question we come across, we have to visualize or we have to interpret what is being given to us, okay, and what we can find out. Okay, now these are the simple things we have to keep in mind. So you should have a lot of practice for this. Okay, and I want you should master this topic very well. Okay, so that can be useful to in the both in the your further studies, 11th standard and 12th standard also. Okay, thank you.